A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
Sports greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. This is Sports Tonight from London. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
All right, that's us stone for today. A little chit chat on Lionel Messi before we go into everything. I didn't see this coming, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone is talking about. Why did you wait till the final day for us to hear this? And a lot of football fans in the United Kingdom are saying, wait a minute, hope Manchester City, they've paid that money for Grealish. Otherwise, they might just say, wait, let's get Lionel Messi into Manchester City. But sincerely, I knew this was going to be very difficult. And if you see that press statement, the word that they used to talk about financial structure and the rest, I knew that they couldn't have been able to keep Lionel Messi with the sort of demands that he would have made.
All right, that's very obvious. They weren't going to be able to keep him. All right, we'll talk some more on all of that as we move on the show tonight. We need to pause, gather our thoughts as we go into the Olympic segment. All right, welcome to the Olympic segment. We'll be talking the Olympics from Lagos, London, everywhere. We'll be giving you things happening in and around the Olympics. Let me quickly introduce my partner in the Lagos studio. Bolu Omoni joins me. Bolu, greetings to you. Thanks for being here as we take a trip on the money spinning world of sports.
Yeah, good to be here again. Like Riley talked about the biggest news, the world of football, let's put it that way, the talk of Messi leaving. Shocker to everyone. And the question is here is, why didn't we wait? I mean, Man City fans for Grealish. But the Olympic Games has been interesting so far. Yeah. Despite the ups and downs, there are a few positive to pick up from, and it's always good to concentrate on the positive angle. All
right, let's talk about Team Nigeria. We're going to go to London shortly. But let's talk about Team Nigeria and so far, your thoughts?
Well, I expected medals from just, 4 people. 2 of them got medal. That's Sebruma and Blessing Obrudu. I thought Odun Adekuru would also bring up something, probably a gold medal, but unfortunately she lost by what they call a knockout in boxing, but for wrestling it's a pin or a fall. And also Tobi Amushon, she got close, very close, just 0.05 seconds. But overall, interestingly, we have probably more embarrassments than the events itself. Some off-the-field dramas overshadowed many of the things we are meant to celebrate. But the fact that we saw some new athletes, Abiola Ogunbanwo, doing what we are not used to seeing. We've seen guys in the gymnastics. We saw guys in wrestling, which we don't see all the time. Hopefully, over the years, I told some guys, 2024 Olympics in Paris, there are about half of those going already by now. So we need to look at all those things. But overall, the fact that we competed, it's a good news for us.
All right, it's a good news for us. All right, let's go to London and quickly. Austin has a special guest, an interview. Take us through.
So we're expecting to have the Tigers captain Ike Diogu. We're waiting for him to join us, but we'll just stay in the line of the Olympics as we take a look at Team Nigeria and some of their performances in Tokyo. Basketball, I remember when we talked about it, basketball was one event where we're hoping to make a statement, particularly with the sort of form that the D Tigers showed us before they went there, beating the United States of America and then doing, I think, also defeated... they lost Argentina. To only Australia. And we're expecting they defeated Argentina, and they were expecting that they would do big things at the Olympics, but it didn't happen that way. So we will review basketball. Hopefully, we'll get Ike Diogu to join us. If he doesn't join us, well, let's just talk quickly about the D Tigers at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. For me, guys, that first game against Australia, and I'm sure Bolu, you would agree with me with what we saw. In Las Vegas, we knew that we could tweak tactics against the Boomers. And at halftime, it was Nigeria 40, Australia 43. Surprise, surprise, that game ended Nigeria 67, Australia 84. Bolu, were you disappointed?
Well, I thought Australia, after playing them in the first game, losing like a huge margin, I thought maybe they could fight harder and push harder in the second game. But what happened to them in the exhibition game? Similar thing happened again. Poor turnovers, poor shooting. They had about 50% of their free throws. And if you want to win any basketball game, especially your free throws, you have to take chances. Yes, Jordan Nwora came up, beautiful game, had about 30 points. But again, basketball is a team sport. If you have 100 points and your teammates don't step up, you still end up losing. The excuse or the good news men are thinking is this is a young squad, and hopefully over the years, maybe by 24, 28, we'll gather around. But in this Olympics, starting from their first game, I think I was more disappointed in the result.
All right, and I mean, the thoughts echoed across, and hopefully when we get the next chance, if we can keep this team together, maybe we'll perform better.
That's the interesting thing, actually, keeping them together.
I guess Austin agrees as well.
Yeah, it's very important that we keep this team together, because I think they showed some brilliance. They showed that they could fight. I was particularly expecting them to win that game against Germany. I still think that if they go back to look at it, they will ask a lot of questions. Hopefully, Ike Diogo has been there, done that with basketball in Nigeria. We'll be able to, give us some insight into that. But then again, it's kudos to Coach Mike Brown for the short time he jumped into the job, trying to put these guys together. They're professionals. They have NBA experience. I know a lot of persons will ask questions now about their experience, particularly the way they lost the final game against Italy. But in this world of sports, these things happen. So we'll continue to review basketball. Hopefully tomorrow jump into the D Tigers. But in all, before we get Ike Diogo, because he's trying to join us now, let me go back to Bolu. Bolu, when you look at the overall performance of the D Tigers, were you disappointed?
Well, for overall performance, like I said, I think their major challenges all through these Olympic Games was turnovers. And in basketball, you don't give that away. Then their shooting, we saw them before now. Their shooting was very good in the exhibition games. I don't know, some said maybe the stage was too big for them. Olympics is completely different from the NBA. These guys have experience. They are NBA playoff winners, especially Jordan Nwora and the squad. But sometimes when you gather your squad in a short while, it affect you sometimes, and I think that's one of the things that got to them. Yes, they got together in about a week or two in the exhibition game, played 1 or 2, but it's a completely different ball game against guys that have been playing together probably for 3-4 years in Australia, Italy, and Germany. But again, like what we've all agreed, they need to keep these guys together. They need to keep Mike Brown. Don't forget, Alex Nwora is also on the sideline. So if these guys keep working together, no matter how bad you can be, if you work together as a team for 3 years, you should produce positive results. So overall, maybe a bit of disappointment, but I'm looking at the lights at the end of the tunnel. They keep these guys together with the experience they have. We should have probably positive results come 2024 in the Olympic Games in Paris.
I'll stay with you. I'll stay with you. I think Jordan Nwora got us talking. What was your standout player in that D Tigers team?
Well, basketball is majorly about numbers. And if Jordan Nwora come up with some numbers, you have no choice. You have to call him out. And even before the Olympic Games, I was really happy for him. He made the cut. Many or some fans are always talking about his father was a coach. That's why he gets the cut. Remember, I missed out on the NBA draft the year before due to some reasons. Then happily got the draft the following year. He won the NBA with the Bucks. And now he's in the squad, turning out impressive numbers. Tournament, I have 33 in the game. I think my best player for D Tigers is definitely Jordan Nwora.
Jordan Nwora for me also, because I think he showed the sort of character that we needed to see right there at the Olympics. But not to take away team performance, also some of the guys stepped up when they needed to step up. I don't know if Ike Diogo is ready for us. Let's go to the United States.
Yeah, I think he is.
Of America. He's got some good experience. We're also expected to see him right there in Tokyo, but he wasn't part of the team. But I'm sure he's got 1 or 2 things to talk about. Sporty greetings, champ. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. Good to be on the show.
All right, and I must say thank you once again, because it was short notice. You got out of training and you're here. That's champion mentality. Thank you so much. We're reviewing the D Tigers at the Tokyo Olympics. I've been reading about you just before the Olympics, and you were so pumped up to be at that Olympics. Let's start with you. How do you feel not being part of that team?
Well, it was very disappointing. I trained really hard, obviously. I put my heart and soul into playing for the national team. Representing Nigeria means a lot to me. So I wasn't very happy with the decision that was made. But once the decision was made, then I had to focus my attention on supporting the team because at that point I didn't want to become a distraction. So I was very happy for the guys. But obviously, I guess you could say for selfish reasons, I really felt that in the games that there was just a couple of things missing that I felt that I could have provided for our team.
Yeah. Tell me the number of times you were like, if I was in this team, I would have made a difference.
Well, I know I would have made a difference just because, experience is the best teacher. And this would have been my third Olympics. I'm very familiar with the international competition, and I'm very familiar with, executing down the stretch. That's how you win these games against these European teams. And I think that was the only thing that was missing. We had a really talented team, but a very inexperienced team. And I think that inexperience is what allowed us not to close out the games and wins that we should have had. Because in my opinion, the team easily could have been 3-0.
Let's begin with the first game against the Boomers of Australia. In Las Vegas, I thought we did enough to cover the spaces, show that we could compete. But I didn't see that at the Tokyo Olympics proper. At halftime, it was Nigeria 40, Australia 43. Are you disappointed with the way the D Tigers lost that one?
Well, there was a lot of things that went into that game in terms of the whole traveling and how long it took them to get to the village, and they didn't really have enough time. And there was some other things going on with not everybody having credentials and having to run practice on their own. So you have to factor all those things in. So it didn't really help that all those things happened when you're preparing for one of the best teams in the world. But even then, still, I thought defensively they played well enough to win the game. It was the offense that really hurt them that time. But defensively, they did a lot of really good things. And they showed their capability on why they're one of the best athletic teams in the world. It was just offensively just wasn't really a good showing. So that's why that game kind of got out of hand. But if you look at it defensively, they actually played really well.
I thought so. I thought so too. They gave it a good start. But against Germany, how unrealistic was it for them to lose that match?
Well, Germany was a tough one. Germany was tough. Italy was tough. It was kind of the same games. You get up in the third quarter, and there comes a time when you need to slow the game down and really value the possessions, and kind of grind out that victory. And it's one of those things that comes with leadership, obviously, veteran leadership, and we didn't really have that per se, only because, like I said, the team was really young, and that's what happened. We made a couple of young mistakes, but it's going to serve us well in the future. The team is really, really, really talented, so they'll have to learn from their mistakes. But obviously, I just felt like the field in Tokyo was really wide open. I didn't really feel like there was a clear-cut favorite to win. I felt like all the teams were pretty much on the same level. So for me, it's a missed opportunity because we were talented enough and we were good enough to get a medal.
Yeah. Talk to me, champ. Against Italy, I was gutted, to be sincere. What could have been done differently to win that match against the Italians?
Game went down to the wire. Like I said, when you get into these competitions and you get into the fourth quarter, the guys that you're playing against are real experienced guys. And, it sounds cliche what I'm saying, but I just think it just came down to experience. I felt like we relied a little bit too much on the three ball, even though we had a really good inside player like Jalil. I think we could have run some more stuff for him. So we're just not so heavily relying on the three-point shot. That's just my opinion. I felt like he was really unstoppable during that game. And I think that's just what happened against Italy. It was definitely a heartbreaking loss. I mean, you can go back to a couple of possessions, missed free throws. We didn't do a good job hitting free throws. So it was just a bunch of just little stuff mentally, really. Just little stuff that just adds up at the end of the game. And unfortunately, that was the game that knocked us out.
Yeah. So you've mentioned leadership as part of the problem, because at some point you look at some direction and you say, where is the team going? I also identified shooting as part of the problems that they had at the competition. What else did you see that was wrong with the D Tigers?
That was pretty much it for me, because I felt like they had everything. Athleticism is off the charts. They got a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions, a lot of young, talented scorers, inside, outside. The team really has everything. But there's always going to be some point and some time in the game where you need one of your leaders that's been there, that's been through the fire before, to really help these guys push through to the finish line. Because a lot of these guys, like I said, they're very talented players, and they are NBA players, but you don't have any experience playing international basketball. And this is not the NBA, This is a different style of basketball. Everything is different. So everything that you know in the NBA, you have to throw all that out the window because it doesn't apply to international basketball. I think there's a reason why, there's only one team, which is, obviously the USA, but all these other teams that win, they don't have very many NBA players because the game is different. And that's just the way it goes. The game is just different. And, you have to value guys that have been there before and that have been through the fire. And, we've, the guys that have helped qualify for these previous Olympic teams, we know what it takes. We've won some big games too. You can't discredit that. We've won some really big games against some really good teams. And I just felt like that was the only thing that was really missing. And we had some guys, obviously, Efe Udoh. I don't think people really take into account just how accomplished he really is, because that's a EuroLeague Final Four MVP. And, I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously, so I don't know what his relationship with everybody was. But, guys like that are definitely valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was your standout player? You need to tell me why.
I would say Jordan. I think everybody would agree with Jordan. I feel like Jordan is the next face, really, of Nigerian basketball. He's a very talented guy. He can score the ball. He can score the ball very effectively. He can do a lot of different things. And he really is a tough matchup for people because he's big. He's 6'8", 6'9", can really shoot, can go off the dribble. He's athletic. So I thought he played really well. He played well in the World Championships 2 years ago, really well. And, he's just been growing by leaps and bounds. So obviously Jordan.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I'm thinking like the champ. What's your take on Coach Mike Brown?
I thought Mike Brown did a good job. He did a good job of putting together a really good team, a really exciting team that if they stick together for years to come will be a force to be reckoned with, not only in Africa, but worldwide. Obviously, I think it was his first taste of international basketball. And I think there was probably some things that he had to deal with on the outside that kind of affected everything. Because when you go to a tournament like this, your sole focus needs to be strictly on basketball. Mm-hmm. You don't need to worry about credentials, or you don't need to worry about anything other than basketball, because the tournament is that tough that if you take your attention off from basketball, then, it really does you a disservice. So I thought he did a really good job, especially given the circumstances. So, hopefully he remains with Nigeria for years to come.
Nice. Ike Diogo, before I let you go, what's next for you? Are we still going to see you play for Nigeria?
That's a tough question. I don't know. People know how I feel about Nigeria. Pretty much for 10 years, I gave my heart and soul to Nigeria. And, you know, I'm always going to be, well, first off, I'm a Nigerian through and through. So, you know, but the decision makers and the people in charge have gone a different direction. And I respect that. You know, there's some really young, exciting, talented guys. So I'm going to continue to support. And if they need me, I'll be available.
Thank you so much, Champ, for talking to us tonight. This afternoon in the United States. I'll get to speak to you again, and you will answer this last question for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so that's it. You're going to say former D Tigers captain Ike Diogu speaking to us on the show as regards Nigeria at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Let me go back to Lagos, Yemi and Bolu. I'm sure you guys heard everything he talked about.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to add. A lot of interesting things. Nice interview, by the way. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, still so much for you on Sports Tonight. Join us again. All right, we're still on the Olympics, especially after that nice interview with Ike Diogu, and I mean, no questions left to be answered. He's answered everything. But now let's focus on Team Nigeria's performance today, day 14 at the Olympics. Let's give you a graphic illustration of what happened today. You're going to see it shortly on your screen. And there you have it. Team Nigeria's women's 4x100-meter quartet of Toby Amushon, Grace Nwankocha, Patience Okon-George, and Ese Brume finished sixth in its two, posting a time of 43.25 seconds. Chukwuebuka Enekuchi Trio, 19.74 meters in the men's shot put final on his third attempt to finish 12th in the overall standings. So that's Team Nigeria scorecard for today, Thursday, August 5. Bolu, throw in a quick one. Today, your summary of today. You expect, I mean, what were your expectations? A lot of people are beginning to feel, well, I think we've reached the climax, and anything that happens at this point.
Even from the off the field or off the track celebrations, you would notice that they don't even care about the rest anymore. Mm-hmm. Oh, this guy, we've gotten to medal. Oh, yeah, you celebrate this, give this is now. We were not even thinking that we had more events. Let's wait till if those guys will win, if Enekuchi will win something.
Body language
all the celebrations, the body language shows, we don't care about them. We've probably achieved what we think we can achieve. Exactly. So it shows why Enekuchi was given just one kit. Someone said, okay, maybe they didn't expect him to progress. And I'm like, even if you are competing once, you shouldn't have one kit. That jersey can tear up or anything can happen. But for the guys, you can't blame the ladies that they tried. They didn't even come last because Toby Amushon is, she goes in the hurdle, Ese Brume, long jump, and Grace Nwankocha for the 4x400. The only Grace Nwankocha is the only person there. Patience Okon-George is meant to be with 4x400.
All of them drafted in.
Yeah, others are meant to be there, either part of the 10 that were evicted or Blessing Okagbaru, who was supposed to be the team captain. But overall, they still gathered around late, competed, represented the country again. It means no matter what you say, Nigeria competed at 4x100 women's relay. Every other thing is secondary. Hopefully, we won't have to be in this type of situation anymore. And for Enekuchi, he was rated 12th before the competition among everyone that there, and he finished 12th. So, well, maybe he didn't beat his expectation, but at least he didn't go below what you expect of. If you are rated 12th and probably you finished 13th or whatever, you can say he did poorly. But it shows the guys above him before the Olympics are still much better than him even during the Olympics.
Okay. Let's quickly take a look at Friday, August 5, Team Nigeria schedule. And, of course, we're going to also hear, what Austin wants to say about the event on Friday. But that's it on your screen. Wrestling, women's freestyle, 50-kilogram category of the quarterfinal. Idris Adijat will be in action. And if she wins this, and then probably a prospect of another medal. And I don't know if Austin shares my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one because Idris Adijat comes with a lot of promise. She's a young prospect and a testament to the level of work that the Nigeria Wrestling Federation did in discovering young talents before the Olympics. When she qualified, I was super excited because at this age. She's 19, from Kogi State, a young champion. If she is 19 and already getting Olympic experience, then we're beginning to do some right things with sports development in Nigeria. So let's wish her all the best. It will just be a fantastic way to end Team Nigeria's Olympics journey if she can get on the podium. So Adijat, all the best, no pressure. She's a young star, and you know how I am with the grassroots. So Adijat, go out there, be yourself, and then, give a good fight. But shout out to the Nigeria Wrestling Federation for getting us such a young talent.
Okay, next part of call. Let's talk about what happened today right there in Japan. Nigerian ambassador hosts Team Nigeria, and I guess that's what you were referring to. We probably should have left it till everything ends, but I guess everybody thinking maybe we've got all that we came to get. So the ambassador representing Nigeria in Japan, His Excellency Abubakar Hussaini, hosted the team at the Nigerian embassy in Tokyo. In attendance was the sports minister, Sunday Dare, of course, the president of the NOC, Abu Gumel, Team Nigeria delegation, and of course, in your picture, the two Nigerians that have ensured we're not going to leave Tokyo empty-handed, Ese Brume and Blessing Borodudu, are the ones in there. Of course, they're being celebrated, and also they have been encouraged to do more. They've been given their International Olympic Committee pins and certificates, those especially for the medalists, and they are urged to prepare well for forthcoming games and events. That's what I'm referring to for Blessing Borodudu and, of course, Ase Brume. But before I get your thoughts on this, let's just quickly take some reactions from that event. And, of course, we'll have a robust discussion on all of the things that transpired.
For me to be here and to make Nigeria proud, especially the Nigeria Olympic Committee, they play a big role in my career. Attending ranking series really mean a lot, because there you can meet the top wrestlers in your weight category, and that really improved me to get to where I am today. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
I sincerely want to say thank you, sir, for this kind gesture. It's an amazing one for me. I didn't expect this. I'm amazed. I want to say thank you, sir. It's an honor for you to receive. For me to be here today receiving such gestures, sir. God bless you, sir. And God bless you, everyone.
All right. Those comments drew smiles from my face, and we were hoping for more. It didn't happen, but at least there's some moments to treasure from Tokyo Olympics. Bolu,
some persons are even saying they've booked tickets to come back home before the other guys. Then I was thinking to myself, what happens if by chance, by luck, by fate, by whatever,
Adijat gets something?
She gets a gold medal or something. What happens? Oh, we still have some guys that start the celebration again. And remember, there were critics even before the Olympics that you had to separate batches. One batch had to go before you met with the president. I thought you should have learned from that one. Oh, this thing is a team. You call it Team Nigeria, not selected Nigerians. It is a team. So I believe all the celebrations could have been done while after our last competitor either loses or wins. Then we gather everyone together, do celebration. But aside that, I think it's a good gesture from the ambassador. You can't just come and go, okay, let me also, I'm Nigerian. He probably has not seen a crowd of Nigerians like this for a long time. So just gather them, have fun, celebrate, and let the champion, no matter what you say, the two ladies who won medals probably stood out amongst every other person. So as much as you can call it, maybe they are taking the shine, yes, they deserved it, and it's an individual sport they even got it from. So let them take their shine. Beautiful moments from the guys. The only problem I just have is with the timing. But aside that, I think it's a lovely atmosphere.
Okay, all right. I can see smiles on Austin's face. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a good show. I love the fact that they're beginning to build some bonding. You could see it among the athletes, and we talked about this, that give people some level of inclusion, some level of care. And a major takeaway from that meeting was when the minister announced that all the athletes that are injured, that the government will take care of their medical bills. I think in Ekweche was part of that list, Blessing Oboro Dudu, Enoch Adegoke, and 2 other athletes. And it's heartwarming because sometimes after competitions, we abandon our athletes. I like what I'm just seeing right now at the Olympics. Blessing Oboro Dudu and Ese Brume, they are a testament of do not give up, and they will motivate their fellow athletes, particularly those who went to Tokyo and didn't win. I've said it over and over again, we shouldn't go back home now and sleep because we won a silver and a bronze. It's time to get to work. The prospects from this Olympics, the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and the sporting federations, and now to the State Sports Council, Yemi Abolu. We keep talking about this. Look at Ese Brume's career. The Delta State Sports Commission is involved. Look at Blessing Oboro Dudu's career. Bayelsa State Government and the Sports Council, they are involved. Everything starts at the state level, so we must charge officials of sports in Nigeria at the state level to start doing those things that are necessary to assist the sporting federations and the Ministry of Sports. Because when we put all of these efforts together, we'll have a Blessing Oboro Dudu and Ese Brume that can actually go on to win gold medals tomorrow again.
Yeah, and we hope we see more of this and in the days and the years to come.
Best events this Olympics, it's always been 200, 100 meters, 4x100 release. But the 400 has been taking the center stage. Remember the 400 by hurdle as well. Probably the best race so far this summer. And the World Gardner tells you, if you're enjoying yourself, in my domain, I have to do well. A beautiful race from him there, 43.85 seconds, like you rightly said. I think it's an interesting time for many athletes. We are seeing different names in different events, but here, fortunately for Gardner, his name still remains on the throne.
All right. Your thoughts? Austin has a thing or two to say about that as well, because
I think what the Olympics has done to us again, then, guys, is that we've seen that the guys who are winning still came out to win. COVID or no COVID, the champions mentality is still there. These guys are professionals. Look at the way Stephen Gardner stole that win, from the back, he powered on and then went out to do it. Norway's casting Warholm will get us talking for, I don't think anybody will break that record, guys. And what a way to break your own record. He broke it by 7s of 10s in a race that we did not even expect. In fact, the second and third broke the former record. So this Olympics got us talking. This Olympics has shown us that, look, guys, life must go on. And we've seen breathtaking results. We've seen record-breaking performance. We've seen equals. We've seen people that have not won before go on to win. Bermuda, a country of 63,000 people, they got a gold medal in triathlon. Burkina Faso got a medal also. So in our world of sports, impossible is nothing. And guys, look, these guys are professionals. They need to do their job. They will get it done.
All right, congratulations to Burkina Faso. But like Bolu quite rightly pointed out, we've been in this mood since 1964. So, I mean, Nigeria deserves a little bit of respect. It's one of the things happening to us in recent times. So we're gonna sort ourselves out and get it right and do what we need to do. All right, let's go on and take a look at the medal table. That's going to be our last port of call on this segment of the show. Let's take a look at the medal table. We'll give you the top 3 teams, the top 3 countries on the table, and we'll have a robust discussion around it. So there you have China, United States, and Japan in the top 3. Let me also add that Nigeria is in 71st position. So we're in there somehow. But you have China, United States, Japan, and that's it. With a total of 74 for China, 91 for China, and 46 for Japan. So that's how it is on the medal table. But before we end this segment, that's a little matter we need to quickly talk about. It's been gathering storm. It's an embarrassing situation, and we're going to try and look at it from different angles. And of course, that's the letter you have on your screen. First, let me allow Austin give us his spin on this one. The situation with Puma terminating their contract with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria and the drama before it came to this point.
This has just confirmed once again the poor show of leadership and administration by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. And anyone that is just jumping into this issue now, it's coming late, because the issues in the Athletics Federation of Nigeria dates far back as 2017. I covered the last federation election, and I saw all of the drama that happened with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. So I'm not surprised that this is happening. There's been so much back and forth about this Puma deal, a lot of questions to be answered. So persons must come out to talk about it. The Olympics is still on, so maybe we want to get distracted. But we know that this federation has got two presidents. We know that this federation did not tell Nigerians what this Puma deal entails. So Puma has every right to pull out of this agreement. But Yemi, guys, we need to get to the bottom of this, and it's time for the Athletics Federation of Nigeria to show responsible leadership.
All right. Bolu, there's a reaction today, and that's what makes it laughable. And there's a reaction from the AFN. Let me allow you to just say it the way it is.
Well, I think first off, from what Austin said, Athletics Federation, it's easy now to hide because the Olympic is on. The Olympic game is majorly covered or headed by the sport ministry. Yeah. So no matter what drama is happening to any federation, you can easily hide under, oh, the Olympics is going on. This drama is not ending. I saw a reply from the AFN that, okay, the former board, they don't have any document about any deal, whatever. This drama is, the first question is, who did Puma sign any deal with? Did they sign with Gusso personally, or they signed with Gusso as the president of the AFN? Because there are talks of this. We don't even know the presidents, whether it's the Okowa or Gusso, but we know, according to Puma, we signed a deal with AFN, either factional or not. Then those ones said they brought kits, we have to wear this. Another faction said no, until we are even sure of who. Remember, World Athletics took out Gusso's name from their list, and they were like, we are not adding anyone until you are ready.
Sort yourselves
out.
So
they don't even know who the president is anymore.
All right, it's laughable. It's laughable. It's a situation we don't want to be, and that's going to be our last port of call on the Olympic segment. So let's pause, gather our thoughts. Still a lot to talk about. But first, let's end this segment and come back for more on Sports Tonight. Welcome back. Let's come home now. It's time to talk about football on the domestic scene. The much talked about tournament, talking about the Aisha Buhari Invitational, of course, is going to get us talking. First Lady is going to have a meeting with the local organizing committee, putting these together. Of course, this initiative has been lauded by a lot of people, gives the Super Falcons an opportunity to get proper tune-up games before important games as they prepare for the big things they have ahead of them this year and the year to come. Bolu, let me get your thoughts quickly on that one as we move on the show. I mean, a lot of good things said about that tournament, and I hope it goes ahead without any issues.
Well, one thing if nothing, the positive I take it from it is one of the complaints we always have about the Falcons, they don't play anything. The only time we remember, oh, they're Super Falcons, is when we are prepping for Olympic Games, where they end up losing, or we are prepping for AFCON or World Cup. But this time around, there's an invitation. I remember they played one a few weeks ago in the United States. So if you can't see any positive from this event, if you have any reason not to like the event, the fact that the Super Falcons will be competing is good enough for you to like the event. And well, it's good that minus people planning, the First Lady is now thinking about it, okay, let me meet with them. It's in my name, it's for me. So I think it's also good that she's getting involved. It's a different thing when you're planning something for me. It's another thing if I want to get involved. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. Those planning, the First Lady, and at the same time, the Super Falcons will definitely enjoy bonding. I remember some fresh ladies are in this squad who probably have not been to Nigeria before. This is another chance for them to come home.
All right, another chance to go home. All right, our last port of call on the show tonight will be the Nigeria Professional Football League. And of course, we're going to give to you the results. It's going to be on your screen right about now. Everything decided now. Fortunately, we don't have too much time to talk about all of this. And in a minute or two, Austin can run through this for us, and of course, as we prepare to wrap things up.
Yeah, but Abia Warriors was actually 3-1 over Nasarawa United. Silas Nwankwo scoring a late goal to actually take his tally to 18 this season, and he's going to be the highest goal scorer because he's tied on 18 points with Charles Ashimene. And the rule states that the player that scored the least goals via penalty wins it. So a shout out to Silas Nwankwo. He had a fantastic season. But I think I'm a bit disappointed that Nasarawa United dropped by losing today's game. Kano Pillars also will be beating themselves for what happened right there at Heartland. But what a fight we're having. First thing first, I'll let Bolu talk about it. The league management company, they came out with another statement that gave all 3 points to Rivers United in that game that Jigawa Golden Star featured an ineligible player. And that now has brought a whole lot of confusion to the table, Bolu.
Many problems we've had almost all through the season. Remember, we talked about the MFM Ifeanyi game, which should have been cancelled from the beginning, and they had to give points. So I think now the good news is the season has ended, not ending. Hopefully, we'll sit down and arrange every positive, look at the rules, have a calendar. Any team that you need to miss, whoever you are sending mails to, let it be accurate. So I believe we can work on this from next season. But the season is over, drama is over, but we are still coming back to discussions here and there. I love how the season ended. Eyimba comment the team, comment the it's Eyimba. They show why they are one of the best we have. But I think LMC needs to now sit down, think about what happens next season. If we still go back to all this drama of fan violence on teams not coming for fixtures, it means after many years of the LMC, we've still not learned anything. So I hope they will sit down and plan for 2021-2022 season very, very well.
I totally agree, because at the end of the day now, we're fighting with two different tables. There's one that shows Kwara United in the top 3. There's another one that shows Eyimba in second. There's another shows Rivers United in second. And so there's so much confusion going around. We've said it time and time again that administration is very, very important, because that's what takes care of what we don't see on the field of play. But Eyimba needed to win today. Very important victory over Dakada, and they got that 3-1 win. Yeah, I mean, what is certain is that we already know the guys were going to be relegated.
That's it. That's very sure. As it is, we don't have much time. I guess we might have to be wrapping these up. But it's a very good place to leave it on the show tonight. While we are at it, I think it's going to be fair to allow Bolu to give us a Spartan shot. It's been a day of a lot of interesting things, but I mean, your party shot on the show tonight. Jack Grealish official to Man City, Messi official goodbye to Barcelona. I can't wait for next season to start. There will be lots of laughter, and that's the beauty of the game of football. All right, Bolu, I want to thank you for your time on the show tonight. All right, it's time to bring the show to an end, and I want to say a big thank you to everyone with us on the show from start to finish. And of course, we'll be here again tomorrow, take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. And of course, we're going to be doing this same way like if we've done it today. And of course, Austin, it's good we did this way today. We're going to continue again tomorrow.
It's always a delight. I mean, from London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. Let's do this again tomorrow. Bye for now. All right, so same here. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.